to be involved a little bit further forward, supporting Paul Gascoigne. I thought Paul Ince was fairly quiet against the Swiss, and of course the wide men have an important role to play too.
Well, as the captain's toss on the side of the pitch, we can check on Craig Brown's Scotland formation, which has also changed. The Scots indeed have brought in Tosh McKinley, number 13, and they brought in number 7, John Spencer. Out go Kevin Gallagher and Scott Booth. And this may mean the 5-man defence, Trevor.
Well, I'm pretty sure it will do. I mean, the key men now for them really are McKimmie and Tosh McKinley, because they will push in on the wide men of England and try and keep tight on Anderton and McManaman. I mentioned McAllister breaking forward, but I was very impressed with John Collins, very cultured left foot, and be interested to see if he can have the same influence as he did against the Dutch.
As Scotland in blue start the match, playing from left to right. John Collins challenged immediately by Alan Shearer. Here's Colin Hendry. Calderwood. Forward towards Spencer. That was Pearce. Now it's McKimmie. Gascoigne. First challenge on him was by Spencer. This is Ince. And now McManaman, who started here well against Switzerland. But not this time. Challenged by McCall. McAllister's now over on this side, calling for it from Tosh McKinley. Here comes McCall in support. Look at Stuart McKimmie here. And it comes off Stuart Pearce. Scotland have their first corner.
So Steve McManaman went to sleep there. McKimmie got behind line.
This is Hendry. Pulled back for Calderwood. And it's Gascoigne that relieves things for England, and it did need relieving.
Well, there was no one actually going to threaten the header from the cross. But
oh, and McAllister raised his foot there as Shearer cleared the ball.
Gordon Jury there. Oh, bad clash of heads.
Yes, that happened in the penalty area as the free kick came across, and with blood on the forehead there, the referee will have to stop the game and allow Jury some attention. Now then, Shearer's pulled away. Sheringham's in the centre. And that's Sheringham! You could almost call that the first clear opportunity.
Good running by Alan Shearer there. Good cross, and I think the header just comes off and is stopped a little bit by Calderwood, but that was the position that you want the ball crossed from. Teddy Sheringham did well to find that bit of space. I think it just clipped the boot of Calderwood to take the pace out of it.
Now Gareth Southgate. No room in there. Tackle was by McCall. This is Gascoigne. Now McManaman. Anderson goes to the right. And plays it back to Neville. Manaman again. Anderton. It's all too intricate. Scots are getting a foot in here, a foot in there. By blowing for half-time. Applause from Scotland supporters. They've done a sound job on England in that sense, limiting them to one-headed opportunity for Sheringham. Craig Brown's tactics working like a treat. But for England, who are expected really to take the initiative here, and indeed need to do so, there hasn't been too much to lift you off your seat. They've got bogged down in that web of defenders. It remains England 0, Scotland 0. Well, Jamie Redknapp, who will be 23 later this month, is going to win his 5th cap here, presumably to bring some added invention to the midfield, and the player taken off there, Stuart Pearce.
Well, I think it was just a case of Gareth Southgate will go back, no reflection really on Stuart Pearce, didn't do anything wrong, but he did squander possession, and Gareth Southgate might be able to keep it better going into that back three. But more than anything, Jamie Redknapp much more comfortable perhaps on the ball than Vincent Southgate in those situations. So now Paul Ince becomes the ball winner, and hopefully Jamie Redknapp and Paul Gascoigne can join quicker.
Well, let's see if it brings about an improvement in England's performance. Here's Gascoigne at the beginning of the second half, playing now from the left, England. And as you say, Southgate slotting in on the left-hand side of the three. So it's now Neville, Adams, Southgate at the back. Redknapp in the midfield. By the side of him, here's Ince, now Gascoigne, now Redknapp. Gascoigne again. This looks better, Redknapp. Away for Scotland comes McCall and gives it straight to Ince. Now this may work for England. Here's Sheringham. Shearer goes into the centre. A tumble between the two Blackburn men, Shearer and Hendry. This is Gascoigne picking it up from Shearer. Sheringham goes to the left. Still Gascoigne being held a bit by Hendry surely on the edge of the area. Yes, free kick. Possibilities here for England.
Great position now, isn't it? I think Paul Gascoigne was a bit fortunate. I would think he was leaning back into Hendry, looking for that free kick, but it's a dangerous position.
Gascoigne! Southgate's now got to work that left flank when he can, and that's looking for Sheringham. Not far away from it either.
There's a great ball. Gareth Southgate, quite at home, can use both feet. He played on that left side for Aston Villa, and Teddy Sheringham didn't get behind Calderwood. If he had gotten a touch, Warren might have been stranded.
Here's Steve McManaman, who seems to be regenerated at the start of the second half. McManaman shot! There's a spring in the step all of a sudden. They're good at it, as they showed in the first half, but if England run at them like this, the picture may change. That's McManaman, bit long for Sheringham. Well, Andy Goram's a great character, and he'll see the funny side of that.
England desperately need McManaman to start to run at the defenders. Just in these opening couple of minutes he's doing so, and certainly for the first time the home support beginning to get right behind the side.
Yes, this is more like the atmosphere we wanted and were expecting. There's Shearer. Now Neville. Redknapp getting plenty of touches in the early part of the second half. It could have gone wide again there, but Anderson's come the other way. Redknapp once more. Now McManaman. Bit of variety here by England. Gascoigne in the penalty area. This is Neville. Oh, and there's Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer scores for England. His second goal of the tournament. Splendid work by young Gary Neville. And England are in front. It's a good deep cross here by the Manchester United youngster. And Shearer comes in and evades two defenders who are challenging him. And look at that. England in front. 8 minutes into the second half. And suddenly it's a different scene at Wembley. This is a different England. McManaman. Oh, sold a dummy to Collins, takes on Calderwood. Good position here for Sheringham. Disguise, Anderton.
Good interchange now, the confidence is back. Very similar actually to the Holland-Switzerland game. Fairly different first half, and then once they got the goal, Holland, a bit like England, starting to look a yard or two quicker. And there with his left foot, Anderton, but strike just too high. It's McManaman and Redknapp now, the Liverpool connection, who are having more influence than anyone else.
Wembley all abuzz. was Sheringham. Southgate.
Since the start of this second half, they've been pinned back in their own half. They've got to find an outlet, and present Dury and Spencer aren't getting the support or the service.
Calderwood fouled Shearer there. It's a free kick to England on the far side. Gascoigne puts the ball down. Tony Adams comes forward. Sheringham beckoning. Hands aloft. Gascoigne takes. Sheringham! Good save by Gorham. And then hooked away by Calderwood. Oh, well, 2-0 there. And Scotland might have been out of it. As it is, they've got a counter-attack going. It's Dury with the headband after the previous wound there to McAllister. Got to give marks to Gorham for that save, but it was a good position for Sheringham. Boyd. That's McCall. Played between Adams and McManaman. Sheringham wasn't quite expecting that. Boyd forcing it back. Then Neville. Now, is that a back pass? Is that the pass to the goalkeeper? The referee's arm is raised for an indirect free kick. And here's proper danger. Yes, you've got to say that Gary Neville slid that to Seaman. And look where the kick is. McAllister's chip, and there's Hendry. It's over.
I'm amazed they didn't blast it from there. It was a delicate chip trying to find Hendry. As you can see, he's working towards the back post, but it was behind him. I just think a touch to the side and then blast it and look for the ricochet.
Tosh McKinley with the corner. Hendry is still forward. That was McAllister who was in first. This is Dury. Now Boyd. Dury. This is Collins to McKinley. The Scots encouraged by what they've achieved in this last 4 or 5 minutes. Can they go on from there and equalise? This is Collins. He's beaten Ince. Dury! Good save by Seaman. He clawed that out from Gordon Dury.
That was a great save. Absolutely great save, because that was a free header. John Collins did superbly well and he got his hand to it somehow.
That's McCoist.
It's a good ball through. McCoist just getting the wrong side there, Gary Neville. I think he was just going away, he just nudged into him, and once then he saw it was going to go away from him, he went down for the penalty. I think the referee was quite right, although I must admit he was well away from the play.
That's a lovely ball by McAllister to McCall, and the cross finds Dury. Penalty! Penalty to Scotland. Tony Adams on Gordon Dury. And for the second week running, England possibly concede a winning position by conceding a penalty kick.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Didn't make contact with the ball, and I think it was a correct decision.
Well, it was Turk Yilmaz last week. It's Gary McAllister this week. Oh, saved by Seaman! Gary McAllister stunned by a wonderful reaction save, and England are still in front. Has Scotland's chance gone? Here's the corner, Hendry. Free kick to England. Oh, David Seaman, the hero.
Well, it's a stunning save. He decides to go that way, almost in the middle, got his elbow to it. You have to feel sympathy for Gary McAllister, and it's such an important penalty, but wonderful goalkeeping. I think Tony Adams, though, you know, if you're going to make a tackle in the penalty area, you can't go on a sliding tackle unless you're sure you're going to make contact with the ball. Gordon Durie just toe-ended it past him, then came the contact, and I do think in the end it was a correct decision, but it didn't produce the goal.
Here's Gascoigne. Oh, brilliant! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! What a wonderful goal by Gascoigne. What a pertinent answer to all his critics. And Terry Venables vindicated. Straight from the penalty save almost. England back on the attack. Gascoigne here, flicking it over Hendry and volleying it majestically past Andy Gorham. One of the great Wembley goals in England-Scotland fixtures, surely. Mesmeric stuff by the 29-year-old who's been in so many headlines this week. Paul Ince to go off and be replaced by Steve Stone. Surely now the match is won for England, and if it is, it'll be remembered for the goal by Gascoigne and for the save by Seaman which preceded it. Under 9 minutes to go, and when you look back on this match, you will remember that, 2-minute period. It's an awkward fall, wasn't it?
Yeah, as Jamie Redknapp, I think, just turned his left ankle over there, went up for the header, and then just seemed to turn itself over, which is a bit worrying because I think he's done extremely well since coming on at half-time. He's kept the ball for England.
Coming in, Gascoigne couldn't get to it. Collins, now he's left space on the right-hand side here. McKimmie, Collins. Whistles in the crowd as the England captain hooks the ball clear. Stoppage time. And the sunshine has really come back into the life of the England team today. Here's Stone to McManaman. Sol Campbell starting to get forward as well, but there are some tired legs now. Nobody made a lot of strides into the penalty area. Still McManaman taking it alone as he had to. The ball stays there. England have no worries. Boyd eager to the last. Adams firm as ever. Oh, yes, he has played well, Gary Neville. Looks so accomplished. And the referee blows with the ball fittingly in Gary Neville's hands. And Paul Gascoigne, one of the first to swap shirts. But nobody could get near him when he scored the goal that underlined an England victory, which in the context of this championship gives them the perfect platform, with McAllister's penalty saved by Seaman, to go on and play Holland with every chance now surely of qualification for the quarter-finals. This was the game England had to win. Seaman's save kept that possibility alive when Craig Brown's team had a wonderful opportunity to equalise following Shearer's opening goal. But when the celebrations die down and the analysis takes place, there will be talk of a changeover at half-time that altered the mood of the team and the afternoon completely. There'll be moments when the Scots thought they might have done something, especially with the penalty. And another fine save from Seaman as well, from Gordon Durie. But this is the moment they'll talk about, when Gascoigne jinked through as of old, and and stamped his indelible mark on Euro '96.